Well, last night we got the kickoff episode of Loki, and it was a ton of fun. But starting out today, we have a massive report about some of the other Marvel shows coming and some clarity on their release dates. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about Freshman Year, Daredevil, Agatha, and Ironheart. Well, today's story is pretty interesting because we have a whole new set of release dates via the US Copyright Office. The report itself comes via the Cosmic Circus, but they are citing Scarlet Witch updates over on Twitter, who quite honestly have been killing it recently, and if you're a Scarlet Witch or Agatha fan, you definitely want to check those guys out. Now, what we've been getting is a whole series of updates via the US Copyright Office, meaning this isn't Marvel Studios making an announcement, but this is what Marvel is at least semi-officially projecting for these projects, and part of this is their release dates. Now, obviously, some of this can change in the near future, and Marvel will clearly be adjusting anything they need to get the schedule right. So none of this is written in stone. Additionally, with any Marvel project, these things are sort of interwoven together, so delays on one project could impact another, so write these down in your book, but they are far from official, but they're at least from Marvel Studios. Let's kick off the whole story with Agatha, Darkhold Diaries. Now, the Scarlet Witch updates are the guys that broke this story, and what they found is that Agatha is set to release, at least according to the copyright entry, on September the 19th, 2024, making this somewhat of a Halloween release for next year, pushing it out a little farther than many of us were hoping, but not farther than what we should be expecting. Marvel's clearly adjusting everything, so it's good to know Agatha is set to drop within a year. Now, Marvel Animation is going to be big in the near future, and we're all anticipating What If Season 2 and X-Men 97 late this year and early next year. But it appears next November, Marvel is finally going to deliver on Spiderman Freshman Year. Now, sadly, guys, I apologize. This is the only one I don't have a screenshot for, but the Cosmic Circus was able to find this entry, and it does appear this project is moving forward and does finally have somewhat of a release date. The show should be a ton of fun, and we'll break down the summary and the casting news that comes out of this probably later today, but in any case, this project is moving forward, has a cast, and has a release date. Probably the most disappointing entry in all of this has to do with Daredevil. Daredevil Born Again is probably the most anticipated show from Marvel Studios coming our way, and it was supposed to release in the upcoming year. But now, sadly, according to the Copyright Office, well, the release date has been pushed, and not pushed a little bit, because apparently the 18-episode series will finally release in January of 2025, putting it almost 16 months out. Now, I know this is going to be pretty disappointing to a lot of people, but if you remember correctly, before all the strikes happened, they had just kicked off production. So this 18-episode series is still very early in the process. Now, like Freshman Year, we got a synopsis for the show, and we'll break that down pretty soon, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get that update. And this brings us to the final new date for a Marvel series, and that's for Ironheart. Now, according to the Copyright Office, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever spin-off will finally drop in September of 2025, specifically September 3rd, 2025. Now, this seems like a huge wait for this project, considering it's already been filmed, but let's be real, Marvel has doubled down on ensuring VFX, well, are hitting home runs, and this is one of those shows mixing magic and tech that they have to really nail. Additionally, we know this project is going to be tied right into Armor Wars, meaning Marvel might be purposefully slow burning this completion because they need that to connect to Armor Wars, and Armor Wars also has not kicked off production, meaning it's not even on the horizon yet. Now, it continues to look like Marvel's Phase 5 remains completely packed, but I do feel like now they are indeed stretching this out a lot further than we were expecting. At this point, all of these shows are now releasing almost a year after expected, and I think this is indicative of Marvel slowing everything down and trying to get things right. Now, I do expect a whole series of cancellations to come our way on projects that don't really fit into the greater storyline, but you can look to these stories and some of the characters they're bringing to the surface to kind of get an idea where they're going, and it is good to finally have some confirmation on their release dates. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to break down both the synopsis for Daredevil and Spider-Man Freshman Year in the next day or two, and I am curious on what you think about this date shuffle, because quite honestly, it is a bit disappointing to know we're going to wait so long. Sound off in the comments below.